Yo, what's up? I'm Mikey,
I'm Scooty,
and we're Social House, and we're hanging out with Rob with Front Row Live.
Woo, come hang.
You guys are letting me come into this like secret place for you guys. This is the studio where all this magic is going on. Before we talk about the music that's been going on right now, like your careers kind of started behind the studio. Like you guys were producers. Now, being touring musicians. Like, can you talk to me a little bit about that transition of going from being the producer to now being the artist?
Well, it's been kind of crazy because we're so used to literally just working here all day and not really like doing anything but being so like devoted to that brain work.
Yeah.
And like just continually like creating ideas and storylines and things like that. That like transitioning to like performing and showing people the songs and like anticipating their energy and like feeding back and stuff like that. It's like almost two different halves of the brain almost.
Yeah.
It's wild for real. It's an experience for sure.
I feel like at the same time, like when you're so used to being in this place, like being by yourself, being in the dark, like when you come out to the audience to meet people, and I feel like you kind of humble down even more. Like, did that kind of, is that something you guys kind of had to like learn how to be okay to like hang out with so many people all at once as well? Like now that you were performing in front of all these crowds?
It was definitely an adjustment, but I really feel like it came naturally.
Yeah.
Cause like was just so inviting and just they want to have fun. And we want to have fun, so yeah.
That's sick. Now let's talk about Haunt You because that track is fire. Like I love this track. Take me into the studio and like the production behind it. Like how did this track get created?
Well, we were actually in Big Bear, and we rented a cabin for like a week, and kind of locked ourselves away with a couple friends, and we just decided to make some music that we felt connected to, that we felt like told the story that we wanted to tell. Yeah. And so we kind of really just had a lot of fun together and just kind of vibed out and made s'mores and like worked all day and just like kind of had like a little moment together just to have like some fun and just really, so it was like a very laid back studio experience. We were just hanging out, playing guitar and stuff like that, just chilling, not taking it too seriously.
Right.
Super kumbaya. Super. But yeah.
Campfire sessions.
So, what was it about Big Bird that, I love it. Like different artists have different places to go to create music. Some go to out in the desert. Some go to the mountains. What is it about the mountains that gets you guys going?
We really feel like it was the isolation, just the really locking in and just focusing on what we were doing. No distractions around to really take us away from there. And it was just really like close and personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is like the first track or one of the first tracks from this upcoming debut EP. Everything's changed. Talk to me about this EP and like, first of all, I love the title of it because it's, you go from one career path to technically another. So I feel like that's what you guys are at the same time talking about on this EP. But tell me about these 4 tracks that are on the EP and like the creative process behind that.
Well, the EP is just a shortened version of the album. What we did for the album is we decided to tell a story of a relationship from beginning to end, but in reverse. So it starts with the breakup song and then kind of weaves back through the relationship, hitting like the bullet points of the relationship and kind of like chapters, if you will, but like in reverse. So it ends on the good note, ends on the lovey-dovey stuff, but starts with the breakup. And so I don't know. So the EP is a shortened version of that. And throughout a relationship, sometimes everything changed. And it also is reference to like our life, how much it changed so far.
Right.
It kind of serves as like an introspective look into like our lives and relationships and really trying to see like what's happening, why things happen the way they did, like, what went wrong, kind of like, yeah.
So did much change that now that you guys are focusing on these tracks? You guys, I mean, they're your tracks now. It's not going to another artist. So does that production process change when you guys are creating it?
I feel like it's very different working for others versus working for ourselves. I feel like when you're writing or producing for somebody else, you kind of have to get into their headspace because you're not even necessarily making a song for somebody. You're helping someone tell their story, helping somebody take what's in their head and in their heart and put it into a song. Versus like whenever you're doing it for yourself, it's kind of like how do I feel? And like that's kind of like the approach we took. We just really locked in for those 10 days and really like talked about what we were going through and how we were feeling like each day.
Yeah. How did you guys learn to get vulnerable to your audience with your own material?
Um, I'm gonna honestly try to credit most of it to like the artists that we work with and the transparency that they've showed, and like us learning from like our friends who do music and things like that. Like we're really just students, and we like to learn a lot, and we kind of like take in our environment. And even like working on like Thank You Next and Seven Rings, we've seen how open and how like transparent Ariana was with the topics of her life and the feelings of her life, that it kind of almost made it completely okay for us to like talk about something that we were actually going through. And it was cool because like we always wanted to tell our story. It was kind of like just us keeping our notebook out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like us like trying to make something that we think people will like. It's like, no, this is something that we've been through already, that we know people may have been through as well.
Yeah.
And like we really feel like it's, you know, being younger, we always thought like every artist, you know, made all of their own music and did all their own stuff. So like that connection with the artist was kind of like personal to us.
Right.
And we kind of like translated that into our own music as well. Like really just trying to be transparent and talk about how we feel, because ultimately that's what people were really going to connect with.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Now, you guys were able to work with so many different artists, so many different genres in music. So, how did those kind of impact the way that you guys created Social House? Who's ready for that one?
Well, I think working with so many talented people really like it helps mold your palette in a different way. It's almost like it helps you to see what other people enjoy and what works in different climates and different, you know, countries and things like that. Because we've worked with artists who are like varying in where they do well as well, and so like different countries have different topics that they like, and we just felt like this was something that was kind of like an amalgamation of all of that, like just a summary of everything. And so we just kind of wanted to really just like pull from all of the inspirations that we have, because since we like pop music, we like rap music, we like urban music, we like country music, we like folk music, we like all of it. And so we wanted to pull from each of those inspirations that we've worked with and that we've listened to, just to make sure that, I don't know, we want to be appealing to everybody.
And also I feel like it's kind of like a strength, because a lot of times working with like other artists and stuff, they will do things that you'll be like, yo, I never would have thought ever to do that, or to try something in a specific way, or sing something in a specific way. And it's kind of like it stimulates that creativeness inside of you as well. Yeah.
And speaking of like the creativeness, like you guys basically have everything you need here. Like you guys don't have to leave this place. But I'm sure there was some kind of interesting ways of recording some of the sounds on this EP or this upcoming album. Like, what was one of the most unique ways that you created a sound? I feel like you got one.
Well, it literally we're such studio rats that we just we literally like to record anywhere. Now for the most of the EP, we were in Big Bear, and we were with our friend Anton and Isabella, and we were just hanging out recording in the hallways, in the stairwells, in the kitchen of the place, like in just a random room that we converted into a studio. We just put an entire studio in there. So like we have like weird random setups, but we also recorded in hotel rooms during tour. We recorded part of the album on where was it? It was in our dressing room while the band was rehearsing. So like in between them, like whenever they would pause, we would record. Yeah, record a line or two. It was like I don't know. And Scooty has like like a bunch of pictures in his phones of us like putting studio setups in the hotel where we like hung them over a lamp shade and put pillows around it. I don't know. It's just like to record everywhere, really.
You guys got to make that like on the go recording, like box or something like.
Yeah, and like, cause you never really know when like creativity is gonna strike you, so you always gotta just be prepared. But like even like Magic in the Hamptons, our first single,
Yeah.
we were here while we made that song.
Uh-huh.
It was not recorded in the studio. It was recorded in the bedroom over there, in the closet. Yep.
So what gets you? Because you have a vocal booth right here. So it's like, what makes you say like, you know what? I think the closet will sound better. Like, is it just trial and error?
No, it's actually it's just fun to us because we have setups everywhere in the house. We literally set up in the kitchen, we set up upstairs, we set up in the rooms. We just want to be able to, because inspiration could hit you anywhere, and literally you want to be able to just work while you're doing something, and especially this is an I like this studio, and so like there may be somebody who also likes it and they want to work in here, and like we're just like I don't feel like seeing when they're done. I want to work now. And ironically, everybody was done. It was after everything, and we were just like hanging out in the room, and then just decided to record it in there. I don't know. It's random. It was a fun moment, so we just decided to keep it there.
Yeah. It seems like everything just kind of happened organically for you guys as you guys are creating these tracks. But like, do you guys recall any like challenges you guys faced on either specific songs or like just the EP as a whole?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's any like specific challenges, but I will say before we actually went to Big Bear, we had some songs that we wanted to use, but they weren't necessarily, I guess, authentic to our mindset at the time. Yeah, we had like made some songs right around the same time we made Magic, and don't get me wrong, they're amazing songs. But like we feel like this EP now and this album is like really like us
really
and like our
social
minds,
yeah.
what we were going through and stuff. Yeah.
Now, how do you guys know this is your sound? Like, what is it about the sound that we hear today that this basically defines what Social House is all about?
Well, I don't know if it technically would define like us. I think it defines the moment that we were having. Now, whenever we were in Big Bear, we had both tried to be true to the specific relationships we were in. Like while Scooty was participating, he had already started dating. He had a girlfriend, and he wanted to be true to the topics that were concerning that. And for me, I was just starting to talk to somebody, and so it was like I like really like was like enjoying the first phases of the relationship. And so we wanted to like make sure that each day while we were up there, it was about 10 days, we wanted to make sure that both sides of our stories were being told in each song. So like if he was fighting one day and I was happy one day, we didn't want to just pick a happy song or a angry song or like an aggressive song. We literally wanted to mold both of them together because we didn't want to lie about any side of the story. And so like it was kind of cool because you get both sides of the relationship almost. Because like whenever I was fighting, he was happy. And so like I wanted to be like, you know what? I'm mad. And so like I wanted to tell the point of view from that, and he wanted to tell the point of view from, nah, man, it's you don't need to be mad. You need to be happy about the growth. And so it was like, and so it's cool. It's like a documentary of that portion of our life. So obviously our sound will dynamically change and increase and grow and whatever. But like it was a moment. It was really good.
Yeah, that really feels like it's like 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 a mad scientist, like putting pieces together, like because that's crazy. Like people usually like there's only one person that's talking about their stories or whatever, but you guys are combining both situations, which can be completely different from the other. So that's kind of cool though.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of gave it like a level-headed kind of like vibe. Yeah, because it's, you're not going crazy on them, but at the same time, it's not like, oh.
Yeah. And it was also cool because the other people that we were working with, Anton and Isabella, are like a happy couple. And so like there's the element of relationship that's currently working and like going through the gears. There's like the beginning phases, and then there's also like an established relationship of people who really love each other. And so it like has like a large dynamic of like the parts of a relationship in each song. So like it's cool because we feel like you can connect if you're in any of those situations. Like, and even if you broke up with somebody, you can connect so like you can either, no matter what phase of the relationship you're in, you're hopefully it reminds you of you.
That's
Yeah.
That's sick. Now this EP drops August 9th. This is your Republic Records debut. So you know, what can fans expect once this is crazy, right? Like this is insane, but like yeah, it's right around the corner too. So like this EP drops. You guys are currently on break right now from the Ariana tour, right? You guys are heading back out in a couple weeks or something. Oh, couple days now.
Yeah, no, we have a couple of shows like before that, so we're moving around a little bit, and then we literally go out. So our sleep week, hopefully, was last week.
Damn.
And so like I don't know, it's fun. We're really excited. This tour has been everything, and like we get to go to Europe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Never been to Europe, so I'm like incredibly excited. I'm like, that's crazy.
Now, you know, as you guys are experiencing this mega tour, like how has that impacted the way that you guys see your music now? Because you're obviously, you know, each stage is different, each audience is different. So I'm sure you're thinking about that now.
Yeah, like a lot of thought into that now. Like before, we had never really like done shows of that magnitude, at least.
Yeah.
And like now we're really like getting into it and seeing what works and what doesn't work and what like people respond to, and like it's been a really good learning experience on top of just being an amazing experience.
I mean, you said it best earlier. You're all students. As you guys are, you know, getting these opportunities, working with these artists, like you guys are still learning at the same time, and it shows in the music. So, congratulations with the music that you guys have out so far. I can't wait for everybody else to listen to the EP. I was listening to it on the way here. So, really good track. So, you guys be sure to check out Social House, and thanks for watching on Front Row Live.